So, quick story time before I clock in or whatever. So, I want to tell y'all about a time when I was dating this guy and I had stopped talking to him because he told me that he didn't want to marry a woman with kids. So, we were dating for a solid 5 months. Like, it was great. Like, he treated me so good.
How are you with a chick for 5 months and she finding out after 5 months that you wouldn't marry a chick with kids? Why are you even dating her? Anyways.
Like, I was just like, oh my God, he might be the one. So I was probably like 25 at this time. And this was the biggest lesson I've ever learned being a single mom. Like, I was like, oh, I'm taking this lesson and I'm running with it. Like, I'm not running into this again. So mind you, he was a great man. Like, he was a provider. Like, he was a great man. Let me just say that. But I started falling for him, and my best friend will always be like, how do you think he feel about you having a kid? And, you know, I will always think like he know I got a kid, but I don't just bring my son around everybody. So I'm just like, you know, he know I got a kid at the end of the day, and he knows what I want. I want marriage, and he knew that. So it's crazy because I didn't really think nothing of it at the time, because I'm like, I mean, he date me and he's serious. I had a key to his house. I stayed at his house. Like,
Is this what dudes doing? Are y'all really out here dating single mothers who you know they got kids, and you doing all the husband things, but you like, nah, I'm not finna marry you, but you can be my girl? We lost, brother. We lost. And this is, I'm gonna let the video finish, but this is one of those examples where I'm definitely calling out the man. I got no smoke for women in this video. This sound like a boy. This sound like a dude that don't know what he want. This sound like a dude that sit there and play games. This is not a man. Now, usually I'm advocating against being a stepdad. I'm advocating against you dating women with kids. But if you're dating a woman with a child and you know they have a child and you wouldn't marry her, that's weird.
like, always. So I'm thinking, like, I mean, he know I got a kid, so like, why wouldn't he want to like be with me? Like, he already know, like, and he's taking me serious. So I'm like, so honestly, no, I had a dream that I asked him how he felt about marrying a woman with a kid, and he said, I don't want a woman with a kid. I'm like, and I was at his house when I had the dream. Like, we were literally sitting on the couch and I asked him this question, and in my dream he said no. So I woke up the next day and I asked him, like, you know, I want to talk. And I asked him the question, and he was like, I don't want to marry a woman with a kid. So I'm like, what are we doing? Like, mind you, I knew him prior to even dating him. I had known him probably 2 years before. I actually gave him the time.
Yeah, that's weird. That's strange to me. That might be a mental illness. You might be dealing with somebody who has a mental illness. Cause that's weird. I mean, that's like you getting a job, showing up every day, and then they like, well, no, we would never hire you. We just have you here working all the. It's just like, it's weird. How can you be somebody's girlfriend that you know they got a kid, you doing all the things, but then you wouldn't marry them because they have a kid? Why are you dating? What if you get her pregnant? And then, oh, well, you know, you could be my girlfriend, but not my wife. This is weak behavior. This is weak man behavior. I'm going to let her finish.
Time of day. So I'm just thinking, like, you been knew I had a kid and you know what I want. Why are you wasting my time? So he was like, I mean, I didn't say I wouldn't make you my woman. Like, I want you to be my woman, but would I marry a woman with a kid? No. When I tell you, I left that man quicker than he could fucking blink. Then he tried to talk me into not leaving him alone. Absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not. Okay, I'm saying this to say, ask questions. I don't care how uncomfortable it makes you feel asking me in certain questions, but This is something else that he said. He said, you never asked me that. And I'm thinking in my head, like, you actually right. I never asked. I assumed, which is correct. So like I said, I took that as a lesson and I ran with it.
And honestly, that's a great lesson. And honestly, that's a great lesson. I'ma give her a little bit of smoke. I'm gonna give her a little bit of smoke because you, as a single mother, you have to protect yourself and your child. At the end of the day, you have to protect yourself and your child. And what that means is preserving the good parts of you. And when you're in and out of relationships and you going through all this trauma and you going through all this BS, all it does is give you a jaded perspective. So you have a responsibility to ask those questions up front. And in this situation, this is actually a very rare situation, I would say, where it's like only somebody stupid would, I guess, get in a relationship with a chick and be like, I wouldn't marry her, but I'm going to, and I know she has a kid, but I'm going to be her boyfriend. That's stupid. So I understand completely why she would assume that the dude she's dating for 5 months who knows she has a kid, like I can understand if they were just smashing and he would like, yo, you know, I just want to have sex with you, boom, 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 but I would never date, marry a woman. But if you're dating her and you want to be with her and you will make her your woman, you just wouldn't marry her, that's weirdo behavior. That's weirdo behavior. But what I will say for her is, like, I think she took a very mature approach. She didn't bash men. She said he was a good provider. She's taking this as a lesson. And I think that the deeper message here, outside of this crazy, stupid situation, is that when you're dating somebody, that's the time to ask questions. You shouldn't be 5 months in when you're asking these basic questions. You shouldn't be 5 months in and asking, hey, what do you think about these politics? Like, you need to know your non-negotiables up front and have those conversations up front, right? So this is one of those weird situations where it's like, she did assume that he would marry a chick with kids, but if you're already dating and doing all those things, why wouldn't you? And I'm proud of her when she got the answer that she left. I think that's the best thing you can do. And a lot of people, they don't want the answer up front. And I'm not saying that's this situation, because again, I agree that it's weird. But when you're getting in a relationship, you start dating, you need to ask the questions. Hey, what are your non-negotiables? What do you think about being a stay-at-home mom? What do you think about homeschooling the children? What are your politics? What are the things that what is your opinion on sex? How often should we have sex? You know, like, you need to be asking these questions up front. You don't got to do it on the first date, but you definitely shouldn't be doing it 5 months in. It doesn't take 5 months to ask these basic questions, right? These are things that you need to, because what ends up happening, y'all, is, you know, you wait to ask these questions and then you've grown attached to them. You become emotionally attached to this person. You start to maybe love them. You get feelings for them. And then that starts to cloud your judgment in terms of whether you should leave or not. There's a reason you need to ask these questions up front, because then you have the answers and it's easier for you to walk away from a situation that you shouldn't be in. It's easier. But we want to take I done already walked half a mile, so I'm going to keep going and walk the rest of the half a mile instead of walk my ass back. Because what's on this side of the half mile, if I keep going forward, I'm not finna like. And that's what we do. We keep walking in the direction we know we're not going to like after we have the information, hoping that it will change. Save yourself the heartache. Ask these questions up front. Have these conversations. Treat it like an interview. This is business. This is business. This is love. This is who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. Do not be uncomfortable asking these questions. And if you run into somebody that's like, I don't want to answer the question and I'm just too uncomfortable, then leave. Just go. Just go. Don't wait till you have a kid with them. Don't wait. Just ask the questions. Know what you want and be good with it. Be good with it. It ain't about revenge. It ain't about getting over on nobody. It's like, hey, we're dating for a purpose, and that purpose is marriage. I want to make sure that you check this box, this box, this box. Not even just checking superficial boxes, but values, beliefs, things that are core, foundational, right? But that's my thought. This dude is super weird. Damn, definitely not a man. Definitely not man behavior. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Tap in. My name is Fitz. Appreciate y'all. If y'all are looking to gain a little bit more clarity in your business, in your life, make sure you check out my mindset coaching. Information is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Appreciate y'all. Till next time.